My lords, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding as we welcome the platform party to the stage. Please be seated. Welcome to QM, and thank you very much indeed for joining us on what is always a very special day for the whole QM family. Before we start, I'd just like to make a couple of housekeeping points. Unsurprisingly, we're not planning any fire practices this morning, so if the alarm does sound, whilst we're in the marquee, please remain where you are. If an alarm sounds later in the day, please follow the instructions given by a member of staff. Secondly, could I please ask you to turn any mobile phones either off or on aeroplane mode? Thank you. It's my pleasure now to hand over to Terry Burt, Chairman of Governors.
Thank you, Claire. Good morning and a very warm welcome to Queen Margaret School's Speech Day 2023. You are most welcome. My name is Terry Burt and it's my privilege to be Chair of Governors at the school, and it's a pleasure to see you all here today. I hope you enjoy your day. My principal initial role in the day is to be Chief Thank You Officer, and I must begin by thanking each of you for helping us to celebrate another year at QM. I should also pay tribute to the team who put a day like today together. It requires a lot of organisation, and I'd like to convey my thanks for that. I'm going to do a special thank you this year for the musicians. They are often the unsung heroes at this event, but we greatly appreciate their invaluable presence, and I suppose in the words of ABBA, thank you to the music. I should also like to apologise, as I gather last year our procession to the stage was a little bit rapid. We sort of sprinted up here. So I hope today's tempo is a little more suitable, but I will look out on the portal for Dr. Horsman's report card. It has been another eventful year for QM. I think inevitably one always looks at these things through your own lens. In my case, there are highs and lows for the year. I had the great pleasure of watching one of my daughters in the excellent production of Two, dressed in men's clothes with appropriate fat padding and sporting a beard. This was both slightly disturbing and at the same time speaks to the boundaries we like to push at QM. So it was very enjoyable. As usual, the Christmas service, the choir, the Durham and the dance show were all divine. There were so many good events. On the lows side, I'd like to thank those who recently organised the parent and child tennis match. Naomi informed me she was unable to play, and thus I'd been deputised, so be there. She neglected to mention until the evening before, when I said, I presume it's just a bit of a gentle knock-up and so on, that I was told, no, you'll be playing the competitive Mr. Ryle, the agile Mr. Harrison, the determined Mr. Marr, and indeed, Freddie, the professional tennis coach. I think the phrase in common patois of today is, I have been done up like a kipper. The 42 games played in 30-degree heat that Saturday were a timely reminder to me that my best tennis days had never arrived, let alone passed me by. So, but congratulations to the organisers of this fun event and indeed the deserved winners. As for Naomi, she sat on a picnic blanket under a shady tree, chatting to a procession of staff and parents all afternoon, pausing only to laugh at my odd shot and conspicuously missing the one decent one I made during the course of the day. I'd like a lot more of you to join the event next year because I have heard I am unexpectedly available. In terms of speech day, I said last year we have to be careful to make the most of days like today and would repeat that sentiment. I blinked and another year has gone. Some challenges that we have gradually recede into the rearview mirror. I sometimes feel COVID appears a bit like a dream or probably nightmare. But the pandemic posed a significant challenge for us, and we still feel the effects to some extent. To that, we're all suffering under entrenched inflation, particularly in food and energy. And further out, we have other challenges looming, which I'll speak about shortly. So I think it's incumbent on all of us to enjoy days like this. We are very fortunate, and there is a sense of occasion here, and thank you all for participating. For my next thank you, I must thank the school governors who are on the platform today, and thank them and their absent colleagues for their service. They give up much time to look after QM, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. Whilst we help set strategy, we are not responsible for the running of the school. We are the challenging friend that questions Mrs. Bailey and her senior leadership team to ensure that the school meets its full potential. The governors appoint certain senior positions, and when Mr. Fox left last year to become a head, we were fortunate to recruit Claire Sheard as the senior deputy head. But sadly this year we've lost another one of our appointees. Liz Raper served as bursar for over 10 years and was a dedicated and passionate servant of the school. She retired in March, and we will all miss her greatly, but delighted she can now enjoy her retirement. Liz cannot be here today, but that will not stop me from trying to get her back in future years to receive the thanks and acclaim she deserves for her significant service to the school. Moreover, I must thank all staff who contribute to the excellence of the school. Our staff have been patient yet diligent, motivational and inspirational, caring and compassionate. And they're all key figures, if it be sometimes hidden figures, in the growth and development of our girls. And it's in that spirit that nothing has changed my mind, that a school like QM should exist. With the Mount School now phasing over to co-ed, we are one of the last bastions of all-girl education in the north. I also mentioned forthcoming threats. As a school, we cannot be political, but we are obliged to operate in a political environment. An election must be called by December 2024, and who will win is anybody's guess. But some who may win may seek to change independent schools such as ourselves through their commitment to certain policies in their manifestos. We cannot alter who wins or what they will ultimately do, but we can prepare. And we will work with parents in the autumn to anticipate such changes and mitigate their effects if possible. There must be a place like QM where girls can come to school and turn into strong, independent, kind, resourceful women. But I also want them to be sweet still. On the enrichment day this week, I gather my daughters and classmates were singing the school hymn on the train. I think it probably must have conformed to just about every independent school stereotype going, but I don't really care, to be honest. To these tropes, I must now also add the capability to be discerning. Mrs. Bailey will talk shortly about the buzzword that is AI, or artificial intelligence. I've seen the beneficial impact on AI in indoor farming. Some of our young women will go on to work in jobs that don't even exist now and didn't exist years ago. The world is changing quickly, but that is why our girls must also be discerning. A New York lawyer recently got ChatGPT to write their trial papers, which were indeed beautifully written. One small issue was that the precedent cases cited, it had made up. So in addition to all the other things we must ask our girls to do, it's to be discerning as they go forward into this brave new world. In that spirit, we will, in the coming year, reaffirm and simplify some of our values so people are completely clear what QM stands for. In that context, we will continue to give girls access to other inspirational women who have led the way. It is in that spirit that I'd like to thank Vidisha Joshi for being our guest speaker today. We try to present as many inspirational figures and role models to our girls as we can. From our scholars' talks to speech day, we're increasingly trying to present an interesting, inclusive yet diverse range of people to fire the girls' imagination. Today's guests will be no exception. I first met Vidisha when we sat together on a judging panel for another charity I chair, the Child Brain Injury Trust. I thought one day I must get her to come and speak to the girls, and today is that day. She's kindly agreed to do so, has an interesting story and viewpoint, and it'll be a delight to hear from her shortly. Vidisha has already enjoyed success in her career and shattered one glass ceiling. Our young women are, however, at the beginning of their journey, wherever it may take them. As ever, it will be bittersweet to lose a lovely group of upper sixth girls today. However, they're not really our girls anymore, but they're their own young women, ready to go forth. I hope they benefit from all they've learned at the school, not only academically, but the values the school seeks to instill in them: independence, curiosity, kindness. And I hope the girls will reflect fondly on their time at QM. Whilst they should go out and explore the world, we hope they will not forget us and stay in touch. Last year, our appeal resulted in the creation of the 2022 room. This fantastic facility, and if you've not seen it, you should take a look at some stage, was the result of an appeal to parents and from the labours of the creative people in our estates team. This fashioned a space more redolent of the universities they'll go to, a space in which the girls can revise or just be, and we thank those for their generosity. Future years will benefit from that generosity, but the girls of 2022 are not forgotten, and I'm hoping that neither the girls of 2023. So please listen carefully to Mrs. Bailey's bursary appeal, whereby we want more talented girls from all walks of life to benefit from a QM education. Finally, my thank yous are not complete without repeating our appreciation for the excellent staff at QM and their patience with us, but also in my case, particularly to the head, Sue Bailey. I thoroughly enjoy working with Sue, who is resolute during challenges, but always committed to the best for the school and to excellence. She has nothing but my admiration for all she does, and at that point, I will hand over to Sue to hear from her. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Terry. No pressure then. Ms. Joshi, Chair, Governors, President of the OM, ladies, gentlemen, colleagues, QM, Upper Sixth. After another very busy year at QM, more of which in a moment, I must start by thanking everyone in the QM community for their support for the school, its staff and students over the last 12 months. More so than in any other school I know, QM is a true family, and we are at our best when we work together. That work takes place not only in the classroom, but also in music rooms, sports fields, studios and offices throughout the school, and in the unfailing support that parents give to their children, whether they live 5 minutes away or 5,000 miles away. Queen Margaret's is small but perfectly formed and has everything you could wish for, unless you crave anonymity and getting lost in the crowd. So said the Good Schools Guide earlier this year in a write-up which summarised us to a T, even if it did rather unflinchingly expose my crochet habit. Small but perfectly formed summarises beautifully the experience of QM. For the girls with us today, the alumni, and the girls hoping to join us in the future, the opportunity to live and thrive in a school which can genuinely put the individuality, personal growth, and unflinching aspirations of its young women at the heart of everything it does, is an opportunity which equips them to make a difference in the world, and a sense that it is their duty, and may I say even our expectation, that they do so. It is a world that we, from a different generation, can barely imagine. But I believe it is mine and QM's duty to do just that. In the shifting sands of economic recession, political incapacity, post-COVID social change, and extraordinary technological progress, we must ask two questions. What do the adults of the future need in order to positively contribute in a personally fulfilling way to the society of which they will be a part? And secondly, what is the relevance of QM and the current education system in general to that imagined future? When I think about those questions and the QM experience, it seems to me that there is much in the traditionally framed but forward-thinking education at QM which prepares our children for happy and fulfilled lives, because opportunities to try and excel at new things inside and outside the classroom abound. A glance at today's programme gives a flavour of this, and some of the highlights of the year speak to the richness and depth of the QM experience, preparing young women for the complexities, joys, challenges and responsibilities of adult life. The school guides say it, but they don't do it justice. Tatler said, QM hits that elusive spot between being highly academic and a hearty countryside school. And while it may be a relatively small establishment, it turns out young women with big ideas and ambitions. But it isn't just ideas and ambitions which define a modern QM girl. They are polymaths, equally at home in a study skills workshop as they are pirouetting in a ballet masterclass. Their self-belief and self-confidence are also hallmarks of the girls before me. I've been asked more than once how it is that self-confidence doesn't tip into arrogance here at QM. My answer is twofold. Firstly, that the notion of arrogance is one which too often has gender bias attached to it. The confident man is the arrogant woman. And secondly, that it is part of the DNA of this place that such are the bonds of friendship and the determination to have fun, that self-aggrandizement is almost impossible because someone will tell you when you've gone too far. It is a community ready to laugh at itself, and I don't think that's a bad thing. If we needed any evidence of that, then the hotly contested House Championships demonstrate that magical melding of fun and focus, with the honours in both fun song and soft song going to Pitlochry. I knew you'd do that, Mr. Grant, thank you. And St Aidan's, captained by Cressy Lawson-Tancred, the overall victors in the House Championship this year. As we look ahead to the future for our young people, not only will a sense of self be a source of strength, but so too will be the human skills which technology simply can't replicate. The technological revolution, most clearly demonstrated in the rise of AI and programs such as ChatGPT, can be baffling to us all. There are many heads who are wringing their hands with worry over what such developments mean for education, learning, and the future for our young people. Well, I am not much of a hand wringer. I'm not sure what it achieves. But in addition, I am certain that the experience at QM prepares our pupils for the future in very practical ways. This academic year, all girls in years 1 to 4 have learned CPR and how to restart a heart. Cantiamo have sung at the Connaught Care Home, and the school's charity committee has raised money for African Adventures as well as children in need. The newly formed Beyond Allies group has led the school in developing an awareness and an understanding of the need for small and large changes in how we perceive, understand and support difference within and outside of our school community. whilst our active participation in the National Council for Young Women gives further opportunities for QM students to make an impact beyond the grounds of Escrick Park. The number of girls involved in the senior production of Two and the joyful afternoon of the drama picnic, not to mention the scores of girls who achieved no less than a merit and the 85% who achieved distinction in their LAMPTA examinations, demonstrated that QM girls have access to training and experience in presentation skills and in performance which AI cannot replicate. They not only have minds of their own, but I suppose they also know how to persuade you. But I suspect that every parent in the room today knows that already. Whether flamingo, hedgehog, Cheshire cat, or white rabbit, the dance show gave opportunity for non-verbal expression of creativity and self, and the art exhibition today is a powerful reminder of the challenge of creativity. Noisier, but no less powerful, have been the choirs and ensembles we've enjoyed in chapel, in concert, and in some of the most iconic cathedrals in Europe. There isn't a miserable face to be seen when the Lost Sock are on the stage, and the breadth of music at QM speaks of a school twice its size. In their reliance on teamwork and in their demand for commitment over time, the performing arts provide a valuable education in the skill of co-working, also not a feature of AI. Nor can any computer or software replicate the highs and challenge of our sporting endeavours. There have been individual triumphs in riding, swimming, biathlon, hockey and lacrosse. We have seen the rebuilding of teams post-pandemic, particularly in hockey, lax success at middles level, and the under-14 hockey team, who are the York and district champions, as well as a force to be reckoned with on the netball and tennis courts. Indeed, earlier this year, the under-14 tennis team that were at the LTA finals in Glasgow as one of the top 32 teams in the country, and they, together with some of the other senior players, have also enjoyed some success at the Eton tournament earlier this week. Whether you play your heart out on the court, leave nothing on the pitch, or join in the running club, or the increasingly popular game of Omnikin, for those of you who haven't seen it, look it up, the breadth and depth of sport gives opportunities for personal growth which benefits body and mind, and is why it features so prominently in the life of the school. My thanks go to Anne Davies, who retired this year as Director of Sport for her service to the sporting life of the school. It is with this core belief that education is a complex and holistic pursuit that QM has continued to raise its profile over the year. We have welcomed junior and prep schools to Escrick for music days and sports festivals. We have also welcomed the world to QM in other ways too, in openly celebrating the diversity and richness of our community and in challenging ourselves to do more inside and outside of school. One result of this is the collaboration with the President of the Royal Photographic Society, Simon Hill, the fruits of which you can see at the art exhibition. In our messaging, as well as in the QM experience, we talk openly about the benefits not only of a holistic education, but also the important principle of a truly all-girls education. We are the school who know girls can. I am delighted to welcome girls into the school every year who benefit from the preparation for life that a QM education brings and are able to access this opportunity through the generosity of bursary funding. I hope that parents here whose daughters have benefited from their time at QM will consider donating their deposits to give others the opportunity to change their lives for the better and to make a wider impact on society than would be possible without that funding. In amongst the hurly-burly outside of the classroom is a core focus on academic achievement and an understanding that this is as individual as the girls themselves. Our holistic approach brings rewards inside the classroom as well as out of it, for example in the Gold Carnegie Mental Health Award. Our willingness to be future forward will enable us to harness developing technologies to truly personalise the learning environment in a culture where this already seems the natural thing to do. Whilst we wait for this summer's results, I have to note here the academic successes of last year's cohort, where nearly half of all girls achieved 2 or more of the much sought-after A star and A grades at A-level. 91% of all entries at A-level scored A star to C. There were particular successes in music, Latin and geography, with 100% of girls achieving the A star A grade, and notable achievements at the highest level in physics, English literature, fine art and French. Our girls can do things right across the board. Our commitment to learning and the development of learning habits was most evident in the unveiling of the 2022 room in February. It has proved to be a big hit with the sixth form, providing them with the perfect study space and preparing them for the independent learning environments of university and beyond. In the future, these young people will need to be lifelong learners, training and developing their skills whilst in work, adapting to the new demands of their chosen careers, and likely changing their careers too. At QM, promoting curiosity, open-mindedness, and an understanding and valuing of the restlessness of youth must be important tools in our educational toolbox. The coming decades will serve best those with open, unfettered, socially and individually responsible minds. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what a QM girl is. But then again, a QM girl is more than your average girl, and is why, in the age of AI, we consider a deeply rooted, forward-thinking education is right for these glittering girls as they look ahead. So talking of glittering girls, upper sixth, now is my moment to speak to you. And I will start with the very wise words of Dr. Zeus. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it's happened. Now, I make it a rule never to pick out particular girls in my letters to parents. Some of you may have noticed that. And largely that's through a fear of offence through omission. I don't really want to upset parents unless I really have to. But on this particular day, I am going to mention 2 of the girls in the upper sixth, because it is time I answered the challenge they posed to me as their new head when they were in year 4. Jemima and Zoe, you appeared at my door one evening in my first term here, and in a very polite but insistent way, which has never left you actually, asked if you could have a word. During their study period that afternoon, I'm not quite sure what you should have been studying, but we'll leave that for the moment. During their study period that afternoon, they had set about considering what was required to make the school a better place. And, they thought, I would find it useful to have a list of their recommendations. And it was a list, it was a full A4 side. Some of them were impossible to deliver, increased phone time being one, and a more liberal approach to makeup being another. But others were, in essence, about making the school relevant, supportive, and maintaining the joy. The fact that they even thought that it was okay to come to me speaks volumes for QM girls. And through the thick and thin of the last 4 years, I hope that your hopes have been realised. As a year group, these ladies have been stalwarts of QM. They have demonstrated the power of friendship, the value of resilience, and the effectiveness of openness. They have contributed to every aspect of the life of the school that I have described. They have tested boundaries, as they should, and accepted the consequences with good grace, as they ought. They have been tremendous company and enriched the community in ways that perhaps they don't even realise. And to the upper sixth, as they celebrate today, remember this. Through all that lies ahead, wherever you are and whatever you do, you are and will always be QM. And I am sure you will remember to have courage and be kind. Thank you. And as we say goodbye to the Upper Sixth, it is also my pleasure to introduce to the Chair of Governors the Prefects for 2023-2024. And they are Head Girl, Harriet Pemberton. Deputy Head Girls, Lucinda Addy and Nusi Hussain. Deputy Head Girl Inclusion, Cami Lee. Deputy Head Girl Charity, Shanzan Akibi. Deputy Head Girl Wellbeing, Poppy Craven. And Deputy Head Girl Co-Curricular, Jen Foster. And now the House Captains. Captain of Duncan, Ava Farrer. Gary Captain, Mia Ferguson. QM Hall, Lucy Ryle. Pit Lockery, Flossie Forbes. Schoolhouse, Kitty Denny. And St Aidan's, Alex Cordingley. And finally, our prefects. Environment Prefect, Zoe Villajourne-Fiexas. Sacristan, Eunice Lau. Art Prefect, Lydia Wilson. Dance Prefect, Pau Hernandez-Bajaro. Drama Prefect, Rachel Turner. Music Prefect, Zoe Usher. Scholars Prefects, Angela Chow and Nozomi Kiri. And Sport Prefect, Daisy Luckett.
I would now like to invite our guest speaker, Vidisha Joshi, to receive our prize winners. I will now announce the prize winners in small groups. If you could save your applause until the end of that group, that would be appreciated. Year 1, Achievement, Amelia Robertson. Goodwill, Freya Robinson. Year 2 prizes, Achievement, Greta Wilkinson, excuse me, Improvement, Isabel Amsty, and Goodwill, Sadie Heslop. Year 3 prizes, Achievement, Belle Powell, Improvement, Arena Shulkina, and Goodwill, Mila Mitchell. Year 4 prizes, Achievement, Amanda Lullish-Knight, Improvement, Miwa Uchida, and Goodwill, Lucy Connolly. Year 5 prizes, Achievement, Ingrid Wilkinson, Improvement, Harriet Wilson, and Goodwill, Pippa Cochrane. The Sixth Form Academic Awards, the lowest 6 prize winners. Biology and Drama and Theatre Studies, Freya Cowan. Business, Alex Cordingley. Chemistry and Music, Zoe Usher. Classical Civilization, Rachel Turner. Economics and History, Daisy Luckett. English Language and Literature and History of Art, Poppy Craven. We did practice this with heels across the stage yesterday. They're doing really well. English Literature, Evelyn Tomlinson. Fine Arts, Niamh Prendeville-Howard. French and Physical Education, Nusi Hussain. Geography, Politics and Spanish, Harriet Pemberton. Graphic Communication, Harriet Needler. Philosophy and Ethics, Brooke Mitchell. Photography, Pau Hernandez Bajano. Textile Design, Jen Foster. And now our upper six prize winners. Just give them time to get behind. Business, Cora Brett. Drama and Theatre Studies and English Language and Literature, Lauren Newbold. Fine Arts and Spanish, Ella Conyers. Geography, Bonnie Harris. German, Louisa Heckman. And Graphic Communication and History of Art, Jemima Houghton Brown. History, Megan Bainbridge. Leiths, Lucy Beaumont. And Mathematics, Lena Hirasawa. Music, Amy Tan. Physical Education, Olivia Mentz. And Physics, Athena Hatsu. Photography, Zoe Wade. Textile Design, Charlotte Grandage. And now for the Enrichment and Extension Awards. The Head Choristers Award and Music Prefect Award, Abby Lamb. The Vivian Smith Cup for long-standing commitment to music, Megan Bainbridge. And the Olivia Brown Choreographic Cup for dance, Cara Stiles. Too many things to carry, I think, there. Spare hand. the Sue Hugill Award in Dance, Pau Hernandez Bajano, the Susie Halstead Award for Commitment to Dance, Cora Bretts, and the Warne Plate for Drama, Jessica Lowe. The Angelica Award for Commitment to Drama, Rachel Turner. The Nicola Wilson Cup for Sporting Excellence, Flo Spensley. And Leith's Chef of the Year, Kitty East. And now to our service awards. The Alison Small Fortitude Cup to Louisa Heckman, the Straker Prize for Endeavour, and the Chaplain's Prize, Athena Hasu. The Deputy Head Girls Prizes, Lucy Beaumont, Nyama Kongianyusuk, Jemima Houghton Brown, and Hannah Hay. And your Head Girls Prize goes to Megan Bainbridge. If you want to just stay, I'll just read something from it. The following girls have received a prize, but unfortunately are unable to be with us today. So I would like to read out their names in recognition. Year 1 prize, Improvement, Bronte Budden. The lower 6 prize winners, Food Science and Nutrition, Cami Lee. Mathematics, Letitia Du. Further Maths, Angela Chow. Physics, Dora Say. Psychology, Chloe Kwan. The upper 6 prize winners, Biology, Chemistry and Further Maths, Alicia Chen. Economics, Emily Lee. And Psychology, Bellatrix Guo. And finally, the Enrichment and Extension Award, the Art Award for the Lavina Fleur Award for Creative Bravery and Resilience goes to Yolanda Gow. That concludes our prize giving for the 2022-2023 academic year. I would now like to invite our guest of honour, Vidishi Joshi, to give our speech day address. Thank you.
Right. Firstly, thank you, everyone, and thank you for the very nice introductions, Terry and Sue. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for the very warm welcome and the invitation to be with you all today. It's both a privilege and a pleasure to connect with such bright, driven, and remarkable young women. Today, as you stand on the threshold of an exciting new chapter in your lives, I want to take this opportunity to remind you that each of you possesses unique talents, dreams, and aspirations that will shape a better future. In a world where limitless possibilities await, where barriers are crumbling and opportunities are expanding, there has never been a better time for you to be bold and forge your own unique path. I'm here today to remind you that you have the power within you to shape your destiny, break free from the norms, and to achieve greatness on your own terms. and most importantly, not to allow external pressures, stereotypes, and the expectations of others hinder your dreams. I qualified as a lawyer 22 years ago. Being a lawyer was something I had wanted from a very young age. Now, when I'm not amongst friends, I tell people I chose the law because I wanted to make a difference and help people. But as we're all friends here, and I'm going to be very honest, there was a television show, and it was called LA Law. Think of it as a very, very retro Suits. There were lots of big earrings, very big shoulder pads, courtroom dramas, and of course, fabulous cocktails. That was the dream. Off I went to university, excited to leave home, but mostly leave my shared bedroom. Freshers' Week came and went, lectures started, and everyone around me seemed to be having so much fun. But for me, it was different. I actually wasn't really having fun. Because the truth is, I struggled at university. Not necessarily with the work, but I struggled to fit in. I missed my home, my family, and I found it really hard to make friends. And a lot of the time, I felt quite isolated. Now, I never spoke to anyone about how I felt because it didn't look like anybody else was struggling. And all I really wanted to do at 18 was fit in. My university experience became a 3-year countdown to when will this all be over, rather than a treasure trove of amazing memories. And when I look back, I think, well, at least I got through it, which is actually such a huge shame. I missed out on what could have been a wonderful experience because I didn't speak up. So while I'm sure there's a lot of excitement as to what comes next, there may be moments that are overwhelming. And I would urge you not to tough it out, but reach out. It was much later on in my career I realized just how invaluable having a network of support was. Seek out mentors, peers, and friends. Together, you can create a powerful network of support and encouragement, lifting each other up in both trials and tribulations and triumphs. These friendships will not only enrich your social life, but they will inspire personal growth, broaden your understanding of the world, but most importantly, provide you with the support during really incredible times, but also maybe some challenging ones. Never ever think you are navigating this world alone and without support. So I'd done the hard bit, graduated, so now bring on the glamour. The plan was simple: complete law school, apply to a few law firms, be accepted into one of the many training programs I would be offered, and the job would be done. Well, 100 job rejections later, and my confidence was pretty much at rock bottom. The dreams of big earrings and shoulder pads were slipping away. Still without a contract, I started work as a paralegal to gain some legal experience. I was based in Chancery Lane, the heart of the legal world, working on actual legal cases, speaking to individuals with real legal problems, and the best part was I was actually able to help them. And that made me realize I couldn't give up, and I really, really wanted this so much more than I think I ever thought. And off I went, application 101. Well, what do you know? I received rejection 101. So it was clear the application process wasn't working for me. But that didn't mean I wasn't going to be a lawyer, and it didn't mean it would never happen. I just had to find my own path. Remember that failure does not define you, it refines you. You learn from your mistakes, you dust yourself off, and you keep going. In pursuit of success, setbacks and failures are inevitable. I was enjoying the law, and I knew this is what I was meant to do. And with that confidence, I approached my bosses and asked if there was any possibility that maybe one day in the future, whenever, if they were ever thinking about it, maybe consider it, that I might be able to undertake my training with them. Shock, it was an immediate yes. And 2 years later, I stood at the Law Society accepting my certificate of admission to the role of solicitors for England and Wales. And to this day, that will be probably one of the proudest moments of my life. So fast forward to 2010. I was working at a city firm, running a department, managing 10 lawyers, and for all intents and purposes, we were doing exceptionally well, hitting targets, earning bonuses. Life was pretty good. And then market forces, legal sector changes began to happen, And very quickly, I found myself newly divorced, that's a story for another time, living back at home with mum and dad and facing redundancy. I had it all, and then all of a sudden, I didn't. What now? Now fear told me, quickly find a new job, get back out there and start dating again so I could get back on track. But fighting against that fear was this feeling that I was at a crossroads, and that suddenly I had the freedom to choose, and that maybe the all that I thought I had to have was maybe not the all that I wanted. I discovered that having it all means becoming the architect of your life, designing its very foundation, redefining the traditional boundaries. It means recognizing that you are not confined by others' expectations or limitations that society imposes upon you, or that you are going to impose upon yourself. I was being given a chance to start again, to find my true passion and calling in life. Yes, I decided I was going to retrain, and I was going to become a fitness instructor. This is true. Doesn't look it, but it was true at the time. Now, as luck would have it, an opportunity arose for me to take a one-year contract at a law firm to manage an IT project, which was perfect. I could have an income while getting my spin credentials. And on the side, the fitness world would then become my oyster. Now, it may come as a surprise, but I didn't end up setting the world of CrossFit and overnight oats alight. It was the decision to take that one-year contract where my real passion was ignited, and was the start of a journey where I pushed and challenged myself to be something I never thought imaginable. Within 4 years of joining London firm Hodge, Jones & Allen as a project manager and junior solicitor, I was appointed head of the firm. I was responsible for a business that employed 250 people with a revenue of 25 million, and a firm that helped hundreds of people across the country, from those who had been catastrophically injured to the family of murdered schoolboy Stephen Lawrence, and to those who were victims of the Grenfell fire. I was at a firm fighting social injustice and using the law as a powerful tool for making change and a positive impact on the lives of people who were either marginalised or who didn't have a voice. And I absolutely loved it. The years under my leadership, we broke barriers, we changed lives, and we transformed into the UK's first fully employee-owned law firm. And we paved the way for many law firms now today, which is something I'm incredibly proud of. So what was it? What was the secret? What was the key? I think, for me, it has to be passion. In a world of endless opportunities, it's crucial to find your passions. Discover what ignites your soul and will guide you towards fulfilling your dreams. Cultivate a vision that aligns with your values and pursue it with unwavering determination. Secondly, you must always, always be learning. Education is the key to unlocking the doors of opportunity. I was in a place where I was able to broaden my horizons, develop critical thinking, work with hugely talented lawyers, and learn from them. The privilege of learning, not just within the walls of institutions, but through life's lessons as well. And most important was my tribe, not just my friends, but my mentors and my peers. These connections have filled my life with joy, purpose, and endless possibilities. They were there to fuel me when my motivation was waning, to lift me up when I stumbled, and were a constant reminder that I would never have to navigate this rather difficult journey alone. As you embark on your journey into the vast expanse of your futures, remember to embrace your strengths, pursue your dreams with passion, and never doubt your incredible capacity for success. Redefine the meaning of having it all for you and you alone. Believe in yourself, embrace the incredible potential that lies within you, and seize every opportunity that comes your way. Your dreams have absolutely no limits, and neither do the heights you can reach. Thank you.
And now to follow that. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Megan, our head girl. Megan.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, and students of Queen Margaret's School, thank you so much for joining us on this day of celebration. A special thanks must go to our guest speaker, Vidisha Joshi, for giving us such an inspiring and thought-provoking speech. Thank you very much for coming today and for sharing your experiences with us. Please can I ask that you accept these flowers as a token of our appreciation. After 7 years at QM, I know that the younger years will be tuned out to what I'm saying, as their only focuses are how hot the marquee is when you're in uniform and how much longer they'll have to wait until their summer holiday begins. There are certainly no hard feelings there, as I'm rather excited for the summer holidays as well. However, as today is our last day at QM as part of the student body, I'm going to enjoy every moment and take in as much as possible, as after I leave here tonight, there will be a gaping hole in my heart. Chloe Fairley was head girl at QM from 1995 to 1996 and has gone on to become a very successful barrister and is also one of our governors. During one chapel in January of this year, Chaplain read out an extract from a letter to a former head teacher, and I knew instantly that I had to quote Chloe. The extract goes as such. I first came to the school as a day girl, somewhat disillusioned with education, believing that it was little more than a cruel device to keep me away from my parents and my horses. After little more than a week of my bouts of feigned sickness died down, and my attitude to my peers changed from a disdainful them to a fervent and animated us. Gone were my assertions that all schools were evil places of punishment, and I forgot that I had declared myself immune to learning. Subconsciously, and against my better judgment, I began to actually enjoy school, and dare I say, my lessons too. I believe that since coming here, I've learned that it is possible to feel delight at other people's successes and to take pride in work as a group and not solely as individuals. That sometimes there is more satisfaction in the triumphs of the school as a whole than in your own personal victories. QM has taught me, just as it did Chloe, to rejoice in the accomplishments of others. This is seen throughout QM, in music dinners, sports dinners, chaplain talking about the kindness of girls who bring in birthday cake, all the awards that have been given today, as well as the art exhibition, which is later on. QM magically opened Chloe's and my eyes to learning. Not only learning the set curriculum and sports unknown to the outside world, but learning who we are as people, as individuals, and what magic we can bring into the world. My time at QM has certainly been novel. It has been filled with adventures, mishaps, and general shenanigans, making the perfect book series for all ages, quite like the Harry Potter series that we're commonly described as. And just like the well-known book series, there are 7 parts to our story for our 7 years at QM. I would like to quickly add a disclaimer. I've added a few details from Harry Potter into my speech. There are a few spoilers, sorry, and it's not accurate, so please don't get annoyed at me. Some details are similar, but not exactly the same. Our first year was a year of new beginnings, creating new friendships and finding our feet on this huge campus. Red House was our stomping ground and where the scene was set for many adventures. There was the Great Escape of 2016, where a group of brave girls broke out of the top floor, using their bed sheets as ropes and ventured into the wilderness of the garden to locate the Sorcerer's Stone, with only the moon lighting their path and their cloaks to keep them warm. In reality, though I hate to lower everyone's expectations, the group of girls took the opportunity of a window latch in need of repair on the ground floor, with some girls standing watch within the safety of the common room, and the other, more daring girls, placing 2 feet on the cold ground and swiftly returning inside, giggles filling the air. There was the first of 2 floods at our time at QM taking place at Red House. This one occurred in the upstairs bathroom, making the stairs opposite Mrs. Jackson's flat into a waterfall and the following corridor into a slip and slide. We then moved into year 2, where we experienced the grand staircase leading to the Chamber of Secrets. This dark, faraway place held the secrets of Snapchat notifications and updates on the Muggle world, which seemed so distant to the QM bubble. Our sacred devices were only to be released for a few hours at a time when the house mistress, brought the key and released us from our waiting places. Year 2 also brought us the Marauders alarm doormat, ensuring that our resident sleepwalker didn't take a tumble down 3 flights of stairs. 3rd year brought us the second flood, this time in a dorm, taking the meaning of waterbed to a different level, as an unaware sleeping girl was rudely awakened by a slowly growing drip from above her head. 2018 also saw what could have been the Tri-Wizard tournament, with new arrivals in September and the same people disappearing again in July, other than a few characters who have kept their place in the rest of our book series. We also saw some of our own moving on, unfortunately none with the same good looks as Cedric Diggory. 4th year was the beginning of a 3-part book titled Queen Margaret's and the Order of the Government. An extended leave-out soon turned into a few months off school, which then turned into 2 years total off school and the miracle of our GCSEs being cancelled. Whenever lockdown comes into conversation, which is often in our year group, wishing we also didn't have to take A-levels, I always remember how amazing my lockdown was, the summer one, not the Christmas one. The Christmas one was neither cheery nor festive for anyone. I was stuck at home, participating in my online lessons and working hard for my online exams. I soon discovered that members of my year group were neither participating in the online sports lessons, despite Mrs. Kilburn's perfect examples of each exercise, nor revising for their online mocks. I learnt how cunning my year group can be when they wish. And just like the actual pandemic, my speeches merged year 4 and 5 into one, swiftly moving on to our first step into 6th form. Lower 6 was perfect. It was every scene after Hermione, Ron and Harry defeated whatever challenge he who shall not be named threw at them. We sunbathed by the outdoor pool, we went to the cardio suite to work on a year-round summer body, and the workload was similar to the amount Harry and Ron seemed to do. We had a few more students arriving, with most of them staying permanently and becoming vibrant and amazing additions to our family. Then came Upper 6. We were definitely the cursed children. The workload ramped up and actual A-level deadlines were fast on the approach. We separated our ways into our cottages, and for the past 2 months we have either been trapped in our rooms or the 2022 room, with our heads firmly rammed into a book. Thankfully, we have had many fun nights together and made even more memories to cherish. Upper 6 has been my favourite. As we have neared the end of our time at QM, I've had the chance to reflect on 7 years of fun, friendship and family. I was given the honour of being your head girl, giving me the opportunity to represent students who are so dear to me and who I've had the pleasure of chatting with and getting to know better. I played in my last under-19A lacrosse match, sparking the memory of my first when I was 14 years old, closely followed by the memory of Miss Davies telling us her grandmother could run faster than all of us. I also played in my last summer concert, accompanied by music staff who have been like family to me since first year, and students who have been sisters to me what feels like a lifetime. Allowing me to remember the original trumpet dream team consisting of myself and Emily Hope, who I've had the pleasure of looking up to and admiring for 7 years. There are too many emotions and tears for me to be able to fully explain what my time at QM has meant to me. But as one of my final notes, I would like to say that it is not the place, but the people within that make a home. I'd like to add some Latin to my speech, as it's one of the most QM things I can think of. A special thank you must go to Mr. Grant for helping me with this, as unfortunately my year 3 Latin has been squished into the corner of my brain to make room for A-levels. So here goes. Ego sum filia regis, quem proba benigna pia usta colo. Ego sum filia reginae, quam fida optima fortis honoro, dum amicitias perennes favelo. Talia mihi cordi sunt, talia mi per vitam ductora totam promito, which roughly translates to, I am the daughter of a king I pay tribute to by being honest, kind, respectful and fair. I am the daughter of a queen I honour by being committed, excellent and brave and creating friendships that last a lifetime. I hold these values close to my heart and promise to let them guide me throughout my life. The last part of my speech I'm going to try and get through. There are 2 people who I really, really must thank. Mum and Dad. Words will never explain how grateful I am to have you as my parents. 7 years ago, you made the decision to send me to the most wonderful school. You gave me the challenge of becoming head girl all the way back in 2016, as well as striving for my best in everything I do and pushing myself to try new things. Without you, I wouldn't be half the woman I am today, and I owe you so much for putting up with all my highs and lows, supporting me at concerts and matches, and ensuring me all the happiness a girl could have. Thank you for everything you've done. And on the theme of being a law speech day, in the words of Legally Blonde, congratulations, class of 2023, we did it.
Just ask Megan to stay. Thank you, Megan. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. All Upper 6 students graduating today will receive a leavers gift from the school, crafted from a recently felled cedar of Lebanon tree on the school grounds. We believe the tree was planted around the time the building was completed in approximately 1758. The Upper 6 will also receive a single red rose as they become Old Margaretians. So please can I now invite the Upper 6 onto stage for their official graduation. Would you like to shake hands with the girls as they go? Thank you. Wow. Firstly, I would like to offer my congratulations to all the prize winners and to our newly appointed head girl, deputy head girls and prefects. I'm very much looking forward to working with all of you next year. I would also like to offer my very best wishes to our Upper 6. I don't think they can hear me, but I'll say it anyway. You leave us today as Old Margaretians, ready for the next exciting instalment in your lives. Good luck in everything that you do. Continue being curious, brave, and kind, and always grab every opportunity that comes your way. Our day of celebration doesn't end here. We have a wonderful afternoon of entertainment planned involving girls across the years. The academic trail and art exhibition displaying the students' work is open between 1:30 and 3:45, commencing in Mount Garrett. And if the ability and creativity of our girls, your daughters, isn't quite enough to tempt you along, hopefully the PIMS that is on offer will. From 2:45 to 3:45 in St Margaret's Chapel, we have what really is an unmissable music concert, featuring music and vocal solos from some of our leavers. All events really do showcase the incredible and wide-reaching talent that QM can boast. But before then, the matter of drinks and lunch. This year, the parents of our Year 1 to Lower 6 girls are invited to join with house staff and tutors to enjoy a glass of wine on Rounders Lawn before tucking into your picnics. It's our chance to say thank you for entrusting your daughters with us. Now, I have been watching the weather forecast, as I'm sure many of you have over the last few hours, and I understand that we are due thunderstorms at some point this afternoon. If that were to be the case, and you're on Rounders Lawn and you need to come inside at some point, we are going to clear this side of the marquee. But feel free to go outside first if you want to, but if it gets a little bit wet, please do come inside. Meanwhile, the VIPs, Upper 6 and their families are asked to head straight over to the Centenary building for drinks with Upper 6 tutors before heading over to the dining hall and Cloisters Lawn to enjoy lunch. Enjoy the rest of this very special day. Have a lovely, relaxing and hopefully sunny summer. Please can I now ask you to be upstanding for the platform party.